This is a trauma-sensitive yoga session. Find your way to your back and make sure that you have blocks nearby and a blanket. And before you lie down, if you want to take your blanket and open it up so that the fringe is on each end, and just fold it into fourths, and it can be very inexact, and lay that just on top of your blocks next to you. And then come down slowly onto your back. Take your time, utilizing one breath cycle for every cycle of movement as you make your way down. And leave your feet flat on the floor at first, and bend your knees and place your hands, one above the other, into that V where your ribs meet, and they can just rest there lightly. And if you feel comfortable closing your eyes, you can do that, or you can look up at the sky. And check in with what's going on under your hands. It's possible that that space, that V, rises when you inhale and then drops when you exhale. And if you don't feel any movement there, that's fine. Just rest your hands there. Let it be a little bit warm. And notice your breath. What is the quality of your breath right now? Is it ragged? Is it quick? Is it shallow? Is it calm? There's no right answer. You're just observing and exploring. And now fan your elbows out ever so slightly, a few inches out to the side, so that your hands slide a little bit sideways. And now they're relaxedly resting, still somewhat on that V and then somewhat on the ribs. And see if you can notice when you inhale if the ribs flare out at all. And you don't need to force anything. You're just feeling, exploring, watching. Inhale, exhale. Focus on the breath. And now, if you can, when you inhale, just imagine that you can flare out those ribs ever so slightly. Both out to the sides and maybe up on the inhale, filling up your torso in that rib area. And then on the exhale, just letting everything go in the back of your thoracic body. Inhale, filling your body with nourishing oxygen. Exhale, just relaxing into the floor. And the next time you exhale, drop into Shavasana, where we'll be for just a few breath cycles. If you want to extend your legs out, you can. If you prefer to keep your knees bent, that's fine. And extend your arms out about 45 degrees, moving any props aside. Imagining that that breath, as it comes into your body, can just swirl around very gently, cleaning out any cobwebs, As you exhale, you let all that go, whatever it is that the breath finds. Turn your attention to your belly and imagine that it consists of really clear, gently swirling water, barely moving, but moving enough to stay fluid, and a temperature that feels comforting and cozy. Fluid and clear, belly relaxing. And now focus your attention on the bottoms of your feet and just imagine some really soft textile like cashmere brushing gently on the soles of your feet, just offering you softness. And you can even assign a color to that textile, like pink or something that goes with the mood of softness as your feet are tended to very gently. Inhale, exhale. And now focus your attention on the palms of your hands and imagine that they're holding something soft, like a small soft tennis ball. And assign a color to that. Let it be warm, maybe lavender, and let that thing that's resting in your palm rest there, infusing your hands with warmth and softness. And now shift your attention to your heart and imagine that that whole area around your chest, in between your armpits, is infused with a beautiful shade of green. Maybe emerald to give it some sparkle, or the color of grass, that life-giving green. Inhale into that idea of green in your heart space, and then exhale and let everything go. 5 more breath cycles here. Inhale, exhale. Your pace, your breath. And when you've finished with those 5 breath cycles, take a deep inhale. Hold it if you'd like at the top ever so briefly and then let it go. And a sigh. Bend one knee at a time, taking your time, and place your feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. And we're going to take that blanket that we folded, and we're going to do big toe pose, but using the blanket. So I'm going to place my left foot into the blanket, kind of in the middle, and then hold the blanket just the way we always hold the strap. As you extend your leg out, notice how this feels different. It feels like a soft hammock. Inhale and exhale. And if you decide you don't like this as much as the strap, feel free to switch. If you are using the blanket, just feel the softness and how it holds your foot and how you have to hold the blanket a little differently than the strap. And you can even slide your hands down so you can rock the foot up and down, pulling the blanket towards you as the leg comes up. So that's your support. And you can leave that other knee bent, the non-extended leg knee, or you can extend that supporting leg out on the ground, whatever feels good to you. And you can stop that rocking motion. Place one of the blocks at the lowest height, right next to your hip, at the top of your hip there. And we're going to go over to the side. And you can hold onto the blanket with 1 or 2 hands. And just drop into the support that that block offers as you're pulling that blanket very gently towards you. If you want to open out the opposite arm, that's an option. Or you can hold on to the blanket if you feel like you need that. Inhale and exhale, and find whatever stretch and opening your body is needing right now. What is your body calling for? Inhale. Exhale. 2 more breath cycles here. And you can dig in that supporting heel, even if the knee is bent, just to give yourself some support so that you can allow for a little more gentle, passive opening. We're going to pull the blanket towards us and notice the softness of the blanket texture. Pull that leg back up to center slowly. And then we're going to cross the body, and we're going to go part way over, but not all the way. And then just hold that blanket, pull it towards you a little bit, gently, and that will become your support. And you can open out the opposite arm. I happen to have hit the wall, which actually feels good for support. The tops of my thighs are squeezing into each other, and I feel some opening in the outside of the left thigh, the extended thigh. Inhale into whatever you're feeling. Exhale, let it go. And now reach over with one of your hands, if you want to pull the blanket with both hands to bring that leg back to center. Pause in the center and then let the blanket go. You can lay it on top of your belly, bend that knee, place both hands on top of the shin and draw that knee towards your chin. And if you've just had a big meal or you have a sticky outy belly like I do, you can open the knee out to the side a little bit so that you can still enjoy the hip joint movement without smooshing your belly. You're inhaling, exhaling. All right, bring that foot flat to the floor. Bring the other foot flat to the floor. And again, bring the hands to that space where the ribs meet and lay them gently there. Inhale. Exhale. Notice what you feel if one side feels different than the other. We're going to get ready for the other side. If you're using the blanket, then you can reach your foot up and just place it gently into the center, or sort of the center. It doesn't have to be exact. And hold on to that and just feel how that feels different than using the strap. The softness of it, the expansiveness of it. The strap is pretty thin and this is pretty thick. And if you'd like, you can slide your hands down and then rock that leg down and up, also giving your hip joint a chance to move and exploring how far you want to go to stretch the hamstring. If you want to slide that lower leg down and straighten it out on the floor, you can, keeping the foot flexed and digging in a little bit into the heel so that you have a nice solid foundation dropping into the floor. And we're going to stop that rocking movement. We're going to place both edges of the blanket into the right hand. And first, we're going to place a block at the top of the right hip so that when we then open out to the right, you find that support there, which might help if the blanket, being unfamiliar, feels a little strange. I'm running into the wall again, which is a nice support. Notice where you feel the opening. Inhale. this is a nice, gentle flow that you can do first thing in the morning in bed, before you even get up. It provides a little bit of awakening of the hip joint. It can level your pelvis. It can stretch some of the leg muscles very gently, give you a sense of opening before you hit the ground and start to go. One more breath cycle here, and then we're going to bring that foot back to center by pulling the blanket gently towards us with either one hand or two. Up it comes. And now we're going to cross the body, and you can open out the opposite arm, or you can hold on with both hands as you pull the blanket gently towards you. That's your support. And again, I'm not going all the way over. I'm squeezing the tops of my thighs into each other and feeling an opening in the outside of my right thigh, that IT band, a little bit of opening in my right armpit. Where do you feel any opening or stretching? Make sure it's nice and juicy. Nothing should hurt. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath cycle, and we're coming back to center, pulling that blanket towards your body so that you can use the support that it offers. Take a breath in the center before you let that blanket go. And you can set it aside as you bend your right knee, hands on top of the shin, and bring the knee towards your chin. Inhale. Exhale. Remember, you can open that knee out to the side if you'd like. And bring the other knee up towards your chin and just hug them both towards you gently, no strain. Just enjoying what you find here. And you can rock back and forth, even turning your head gently from one side to the next. And make sure there are no blocks in the way, whichever direction you decide to drop onto your side, extending your arm and dropping your head onto your upper arm. Come into fetal position. Breathe here. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can feel the ribs in the back of your body flare out at all as you inhale. Exhale, they fold back into themselves. When we breathe in so many different directions. Up and down, out to each side, front and back. And when we think about the opening that can happen with each of those directions in different parts of the torso, that keeps the muscles around the spine nimble and fluid, moving with the breath. It's one of the magic things about yoga, coordinating movement with breath. Place your top hand flat on the floor. Extend your top leg. And push into that hand slowly to bring you up to seated, sliding that top foot along the floor to give you some leverage as you come up. And we're going to come up into easy pose. So you might want to take that blanket that we just folded and use it as support underneath you. And you can line it up a little more exactly than I did at first. A little more in the Iyengar spirit, making sure that you have a nice straight fold behind you. And you're not going to sit entirely on the blanket. You're just going to use it to lift up the very back of your buttocks so that you slide back into the floor with that natural lift in the back that then gives you a curve. And then your spine can be nice and straight. If you ever feel like, you've got a flare up in your hip or something, and you can't sit straight up in easy pose, you can find a wall and back up to the wall and use that for support. Once you're here, feel your sits bones underneath you. They should be on the mat. Inhale, lots of goodness, all the nourishment of the oxygen. Exhale, let it go into your sits bones. We're going to start with a few head movements. So start by turning to the right and holding there for one breath cycle, just looking at what's there that makes you happy. And come back to center. Inhale. Exhale, and turning to the left, not straining, and find something, even just a speck of color that makes you happy. And come back to center. We're going to extend our arms out to the side and extend your fingertips. Let the hands and fingers be nice and active. On the exhale, we're just going to rock to the side, maybe tilting our head a little bit to the side. Inhale, we're coming back to center. Exhale, rock to the side. Inhale, we're coming back to the center. Feel the big expanse of the frame that your arms offer as they extend out. Inhale to the center. Just opening up the torso, the ribs. The next time you come to the right, drop your right hand and roll over, opening that left arm up overhead into a gentle side stretch. Breathe here. Let the heart be nice and soft and open. Inhale. Exhale. Let it go into your sits bones. One more breath cycle here. We're coming up partially. Extend that arm up overhead. And then drop that hand and let two fingers dig gently into your right ear. And lift that ear over into a nice tilt to the left. And you can lift your right hand and arm up if you'd like to. Inhale. Exhale. Nothing straining, just finding a little more space. Come back up to center on the inhale. Let those fingers out of the ears and drop that left hand to the outside of your right thigh. Feel the squeeze here between the left arm and the chest. It's good for lymph. Bring your right hand behind your right buttock. And we're going to turn into a twist. Start with the belly. See how far that goes. And move those ribs. And then open the right shoulder. And look out over that shoulder. Let this be juicy. Inhale, length into your spine. And exhale. Enjoy the twist. One more breath cycle. And then come gently back to the center. Place your hands on your thighs. Inhale and then exhale. We're going to start up again with that rocking motion. So extend your hands out to each side and really put energy into those fingers. Extend the fingertips. Imagine you're like Julie Andrews at the beginning of Sound of Music with all that nature and space and the mountains around you and how open her heart was. And the next exhale, rock to the left and let your head tilt that direction. Inhale brings you to the center. Gentle rock as far or not as you want to go. Just finding motion, space, fluidity, breath. Inhale and exhale. Next time you come to the left, go ahead and drop that hand. And now you know where we're going. Open the palm to the ceiling and circle that hand overhead and come over into a side stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Opening those ribs. Push into the left hand to come up to center, reaching those fingertips to the sky, and then drop them to the left side of your head and find them drawing into your ear a little bit, very gently, just enough to lift that ear up and send your head up and over to the right. If you want to lift that left arm, inhale, exhale. Next time you inhale, we're going to come back up to center, and you're going to let those fingers out of your ears and drop that hand down your center body and let it land on the outside of your left thigh. Place your left hand right behind your left buttock and feel this squeeze while also keeping this right shoulder nice and open. Start with your belly, draw the belly over to the left, and then the ribs. You can even use your hand to help that imagining become a little more concrete, and then open the left shoulder to the left and look to the left. Open heart, easy breath. Inhale, length. Exhale, turn. Inhale. Exhale. Next time you inhale, draw your focus back to center. Let's lean back and extend the legs out in front of us. We should have switched sooner. Go ahead and just bump those legs into the floor a little bit to bring them alive. We're going to place one hand on each side with the fingertips facing out, and the hands, the heels of the hands, are just a few inches from the hips. We're going to rock again. So just go ahead, lifting one buttock as you rock into the other. Inhale into the center, exhale into the side. Just rocking back and forth, giving that fascia in your buttocks a little bit of a massage, and just feeling nice and loose and soft. Next time you rock to the right, stay there. Leave your hand, which is even with your hip, there, and take your left hand and place it next to the right hand. Lift your buttock a little higher and turn. Should be a super gentle twist, and you're looking to the right, maybe to some place, even with the center of your hands about 2 feet away from you. And now drop your forehead into the space between your hands a little bit above your hands, and then tuck your chin into your chest. Inhale, exhale, and now we're going to keep that bow and the twist, and we're going to so slowly inhale, exhale, and you get to decide how far you go. You're going to both drop the left buttock so slowly and lengthen the arms, keeping the twist, keeping the bow, and just see what you find. I can feel something behind my shoulder blades and in the back of my waist on one side, wherever you are. One more breath cycle here, and then just fold, drop, flop out of it, and come back to the center. And before we go to the other side, let's flex the feet, draw the toes down as if they could meet the floor. Inhale into those pointed feet. Exhale. And now let's flex the feet, really expanding and stretching out the toes. See how wide you can make your toes and how far your feet can flex towards your face. Inhale, exhale. And now keeping those toes really wide. Point your arches, but leave the toes folding back, expanding, widening. Soft shoulders as you do this. Inhale. Exhale. All right, let the feet relax. Let's rock from side to side again. Your hands can be at whatever distance from your hips. you need them to be to make this rock really feel soothing. Next time you rock to the left, we're going to pause. So the hand is even with your hip and it's about 6 inches from your hip. Lift the right buttock so that you can rock just a little further. Your feet are along for the ride. Don't worry about them. Place the right hand next to the left hand. So this might be enough. This is a lot. Inhale. Exhale. And then see if you would like to lift the right buttock a little further as you drop your forehead towards the mat. Inhale. And on the exhale, drop your chin into your chest and really bow towards those hands. The breath is the thing here. And now we're going to slowly, keeping the bow, keeping the twist, push into the hands, slowly straightening the arms and dropping the right buttocks. And just see how far you want to go. As your buttocks comes to the ground, you might really feel a nice stretch in the back of your torso. This time I feel it in the back of the ribs. Inhale, exhale. And then the next time you have a breath cycle, you inhale, just come back to center. Bring the soles of your feet together into butterfly, and we'll just recover here. Your feet can be far away from your body or they can be close, whatever you prefer. Hold on to your ankles. Long spine. Nice and majestic and open at the same time. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. And if you want to try coming forward with a nice long spine, imagine that the very bottom of your belly could just fold over and draw itself flat onto the mat. So you're leading with your forehead, with your chin tucked, and breathing as your forehead reaches for someplace in front of where your toes meet. Long spine, open heart, soft shoulders. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, drawing your forehead forward if you have that in you today. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, draw your forehead forward. Eventually come to stillness. Find a forward bend here that you can live with for just 2 breath cycles. Inhale, enjoying whatever openness you find here. Exhale. And then coming up very gently, very slowly. And that's the beginning of a trauma-sensitive class. Thank you for watching.